We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Yeah, with Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and JJ Buck.
As we creep closer and closer to divisional weekend in the National Football League, the big weekend, the one some people like the most. I don't know which one you do. Maybe it's next weekend when the winners go to the Super Bowl, but you get 4 really good games the one seeds are playing. As we creep closer and closer, there's more and more quarterback talk around the league. And there's a lot more talk about actual games themselves. It should be really good. Looking forward to today. Good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living in America's finest city today?
Good morning. What
look
it do?
Look at the smile on his face. See, look at him. He didn't have that smile when he's out, but he's in America's finest city. You go down to OB last night?
Actually, it did not.
You did not?
Because the Uber rates were outrageous, so it was just a night in.
All right. JJ's got Lobo women's basketball. It's a matinee today at Viejas Arena in San Diego. Lobo women will play San Diego State noon hour time. So what does that mean? You hit the air at 11:30, 10:30 Pacific time. JJ and the Lady Lobos. JJ's not going to play, but the Lady Lobos will take on San Diego State today in a matinee, and we'll get into that. On the court last night, one Mountain West game. You stay up and watch that? Did you get that in the hotel?
OT, baby. Isaiah Stevens. Is there a more clutch player in America right now?
That was asked on the broadcast last night late in the second half. Isaiah Stevens of Colorado State brought them back, scored them, being Colorado State, on San Diego State, scored with about 5 seconds to go. Trammell got to the bucket for San Diego State. A beautiful look right down the lane. Left his 7-footer short by 1.5 feet. Went to overtime. San Diego State survived. They went about 9 minutes, JJ, without scoring. San Diego State did. It's like all of a sudden this was that old San Diego State team that has one of those every year, it feels, when San Diego State goes, whether it's to Laramie, to Clune Arena at Air Force, or to Colorado State, they have one of those offensive good night, take a nap games. And they did, but they ended up putting 82 points on the board, and boy, did they get hot in overtime. San Diego State survived last night, 82-76. There was something interesting said on that broadcast. It said the whole rest of the league is rooting for Colorado State. And I found that a touch curious because San Diego State's tied for first place at the top, or at least the loss column with one loss. Do you think the whole rest of the league was rooting for San Diego State to lose that game or Colorado State to win? Because it feels like San Diego State, being net ranked, 31 or whatever they are, they continue to win and you get your shots at them. That's a better opportunity for the rest of the league. Did I read that wrong?
It's one where if San Diego State loses, it helps New Mexico, Boise State, teams like that in the regular season title race. But
right,
what you laid out is it's better if San Diego State wins that game for the league than taking a bad loss in that situation versus Colorado State, because the top of the Mountain West still has the powerful net rankings, good KenPom numbers, and if you handle your business and if someone does trip up San Diego State along the way, the Lobos are in pretty good position right now because they have that game against the Aztecs at Viejas.
Yeah, I think your point being that people want them to lose in regards to the standings, the regular season standings, and winning the Mountain West. But for Lobo fan, I'm kind of curious because that was said on the Fox broadcast last night, and the whole league is rooting for Colorado State. I don't know, Lobo fan. You just beat San Diego State in Viejas. As much as you hate San Diego State, and I understand that, did you want them to lose last night? Doesn't them continuing to win make that win better for you? And as we're going to have discussions now, only one team's going to get that automatic qualifier, right? Only one of those teams is going to win that tournament. And that means San Diego State and or New Mexico and or Boise State and or Nevada, right, are going to be in the conversation. Utah State. In conversations as we go down the next week and a half, we're going to talk, or month and a half, we're going to talk to Jerry Palm today about it. When we talk about who's getting in, who's on the bubble, Lenardi's got New Mexico as the last team in right now. Well, that's because they got a quad one quality road win against San Diego State. I'm kind of curious. Don't you think Lobo fan, as much as they hate San Diego State, kind of wanted them to win that game last night?
You kind of do want them to win that game last night because you want the top of this league, 1 through 4, 1 through 5, whatever it is, by the time you get to Las Vegas, to be in a really good position with your at-large resume. Because what if a team like Colorado State,
Yeah.
or
Wins the league.
if all of a sudden you wake up and Graham Ike plays for 2 weeks and Hunter Maldonado's back, and they win the league? That's the worst case scenario for the at-large bubble teams in a conference like the Mountain West. So you just want to be as strong as possible going in there.
That's what they call a bid stealer, right? I mean, that's your typical bid stealer, is when a team that was not going to the NCAA tournament wins, and there's a team in that league, whatever league it happens to be. It happens in the Pac-12, right? Oregon State did it a few years ago, made a run to the Sweet 16, didn't they? They weren't going to the NCAA tournament. They won the Pac-12 tournament, and then Wayne Tinkle's team went on a run, and they went deep in the tournament. It happens all the time. To your point, Graham Ike and Hunter Maldonado get healthy for Wyoming, and they go into Vegas. You want to play them? No. The league is really good, and the bottom of the league has gotten way better, but they're still a 10-10 team that you lost to. When you lost to Fresno State, that was still a net ranked 207 team. I don't know what they are now. I can't believe they're much better because they haven't won since, right? So I'm just kind of curious as you watch these games, or at least you watch the results, as much as you dislike San Diego State. And I'm down with that, and I get it, and I understand it, and that's the beauty of a rivalry. Are you rooting, like, how are you rooting as a Lobo fan as you watch that stuff? Because you want to be in first place, you want them to lose, but you don't want to lose to the 10-10 team. If you want to lose, it's to Boise State, it's to you, it's to Nevada, maybe on the road to Utah State. They go to Clune Arena next. They got to go play Air Force. Aztecs have 2 straight games up at elevation. All right, we got a lot to do because Lobos are going to play Boise State tomorrow, and we'll get into that a little bit as you kind of come down a little bit off of the 20-point victory over San Jose State 2 nights ago. We'll get into what it means and what happens tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, some of the promotional stuff that they're doing, and we'll help you with that. Would suggest a little bit earlier, go out and see A. Maria 377 Brewery and get it going a little bit. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
How you living over there?
I'm doing great.
That's a nice, smart-looking 377 brewery.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm getting hooked up.
It's kind of the uniform these days.
Yeah,
huh?
this is the uni.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that JJ sounded good in the America's Finest City.
Yeah. No, JJ sounds good.
He sounds good.
He's
Looks
looking
good.
Yeah.
We got it.
He's
We're rolling.
Yeah, he's looking good. We are on, and we see JJ. You can as well. We're Visual Medium, Comcast Channel 26. Adrian's producer for ProView Networks, and you can watch it on ProView Network's YouTube channel or on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. Get in today, 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610 on the 377 Brewery hotline. That you can send text to that same number, and we will receive them and read most of them on the air as well. We're going to go through the NBA because a really interesting night in the NBA last night. College basketball is popping every single day, and a whole lot of NFL to talk about as we are getting closer and closer to divisional weekend in the National Football League. There's schedule talk. They're already looking ahead to next year. Who's going to play overseas? There's Aaron Rodgers conversation. Well, of course there is. It's off season. If you're a Green Bay Packer quarterback or once played for them, and it's in the offseason, we got to talk about you. I mean, this was Brett Favre. Like this was, how many years did we do the Brett Favre thing? Every year, every day. What's he going to do? It's the same guy, isn't it? Same dude, right? Every single day we're hearing the same thing. But we'll get into it because Gronk's got stuff to say about it. I want to get into some of the injury news. The Cowboys have signed another kicker. JJ will get you ready for his big game. What's the big storyline of your game? It's going to be a daytime game, a lot of screaming kids?
Well, yes, over 3,000 elementary school kids expected.
Yeah.
So there's going to be shrieks and screams regardless of the performance on the floor.
Get the cotton candy going, sugar them up, send them home.
Let's go.
That's right. No, that's how it is. Here, Mom, here's your kid. Yay, we went to the game today. They're bouncing off the walls. That's how that rolls. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. When we return, the Cowboys did sign another kicker. What does that mean going into this weekend? And should they go with a new kicker? We'll go through the NFL, get you your headlines, and get you ready for that as much as we can as we're, 2 days away now from kicking off divisional playoffs. JJ's in San Diego. A-Marie and I are merely in downtown Burque, as is Adrian. Thanks for listening to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Makes a little sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
Cowboy fans are asking. It's what the Cowboys themselves are asking as they head into divisional weekend and have to go to San Francisco and play the 49ers. Brett Maher, their kicker, missed 4 extra points. You've never seen it before. You know why? It never happened in the NFL. I don't think you've seen it maybe you've seen it in high school. 4 extra points. And you asked, some of you did yesterday, why does dude still have a job? And the answer probably was, well, who you finding better, because any dude who's available wasn't one of the best 32, wasn't on a roster. Guy was pretty good for you. I think he was 91% this year. Missed, one extra point before that? But had a really, really bad day. So how many, JJ?
It was 3 in the regular season.
It was 3 in the regular season?
Yeah.
So was it a bad day? Jeff Sabieta,
50 of
JJ
53.
Yeah, 50. All right. It's
pretty good.
Pretty good. 1 out of 6 the other day. 1 out of 5. So they went out and signed. Did the Cowboys? They went out and signed a training camp kicker, Tristan Vizcaino. Now they say they're sticking with Brett Maher. And they're going to watch him all week. And if he struggles when he kicks in practice today and tomorrow, then the Cowboys will have Vizcaino ready. He spent part of the 2020 season with them. Played in 3 games this year with the Cardinals, with the Patriots. He made 2 field goal attempts and 3 extra points, and the Cardinals win over the Rams. And I get it. We're spending a lot of time talking about the freaking kicker, right? But how many games come down to 1 possession? How many games in the playoffs come down to 3 points or less? A lot of them, right? This is as much as you I don't know, JJ, the left tackle is way more important to me. The end rusher's way, but how many times it come down to the kicker?
If the Cowboys are to win this game, you expect it to be a close football game. Thus, you're going to need some field goals. You're going to need to convert an extra point or 2 if you're able to score some touchdowns on this 49ers defense. And this is in case of emergency. This is if something looks off, if there's a bad feeling in the next couple days, you can promote this guy off the practice squad. But they're going with their guy. It makes a ton of sense. You don't want to introduce an extra variable if you don't have to. I think this is just kind of smart. Hey, he's here. We're not saying he's going to be the kicker, but he's here. And it's a smart thing to do, because you never know. It could go into the week and this dude, even when he's standing there by himself in the Cowboys practice bubble and he's shanking everything, and you're just like, well,
we got a problem.
Guess we got to move on.
Well, regular season is different than postseason too. So this is, even if it's just quote unquote the kicker, that was a big moment, a big game. We're quick to blame the quarterback or whatever, but Dak went lights out. But it was a big game though, so it does matter.
You don't dress 2, do you? Like, you don't waste a position here.
No.
You're allowed to dress 53 dudes, right? And I know there's always decisions. Do we want the last receiver or an extra lineman? Do we dress an extra linebacker or a second, a seventh DB or whatever it is. You don't waste a position here on a second kicker, do you?
No, I think if you go that far, then you're starting the guy.
Then you got to go.
I
the
think
other
you
way.
dress
Right.
2 kickers on your roster.
All right. I
think he'll be fine.
All right. When I said we've never seen it before, I'm talking about you and me and most of us. This did happen once before. He was the first player to miss 4 extra points in a game since 1932. So I don't remember it. I'm going to guess you don't. I don't think even Adolph does, or any of the guys who might have been around a minute or two. But Elias says that's a span of 16,207 games. So it hadn't happened since 1932.
How wide were the goalposts in 1932?
They were up on the goal line. Remember, they were the 2-legged goalposts, and they were up on the goal line. And the fact that they scored 4 touchdowns in a game in 1932, I think is a bit of news, don't you?
Absolutely, it was like the greatest show on dirt. It must have been running out there.
Show on dirt is absolutely right. I don't remember it, but I just want to make sure I'm relatively factually correct. To say we never saw it before. Tommy, you want to talk about Brett Maher? You think he should be fired? What's up?
Bad day at the office, and there's really no kickers out there to get. They did sign one, I think, that was on New England, and you just judge it. If he misses that first extra point or field goal, then you probably have to yank him. But it's just a bad day at the office. There's no need to panic. We won the game. That's all that matters in the end.
Yeah, but yank him for what? Are you dressing a second kicker? You wasting one of your 50?
Well, they already got a second kicker.
Yeah, but you got to decide whether or not you're going to activate him before you play. You don't get to just yank him and then activate the other kicker, right? I mean, you got to decide before you're going in. Are you using one of your 53 active roster spots on a second kicker?
I think you have to just judge how he's doing at practice before the game, and just judge it through the week. If you have to feel like you need to activate this kicker, then go ahead and do it. But I just think, it's a bad day at the office. I'll give him a break on that. And we did win the game. At the end of the day, that's all I care about. But we'll just see how he does during the week at practice. Then they're going to have to judge if they're going to have to keep a second kicker on. But I'm not going to panic. That game's done on the San Francisco.
That's right. All right, 10-4. All right, man. Thanks. I agree with you guys. I don't think you activate a second kicker. If you get to the point where you feel you need to keep him active, then you need to go with the other guy. I'm not. With all due respect, my punter's my backup kicker. And
absolutely.
And by the way, I might have my punter taking a few
extra points.
Honestly,
no,
right?
that's just smart.
Wouldn't you this week? And I don't know. Is the punter the holder? I don't honestly know their special team setup.
Kicker.
Well, a lot of times the punter is the holder.
Yeah.
Right. Would I have somebody out? Will I have Cooper Rush out there figuring out how to hold on? No, honestly.
No, I'm not like.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
If he goes out and misses
100%.
If he misses the first
here's
two,
the
what are you
thing.
going to do? Because at some point,
go for 2.
Okay, but at some point you might need a field goal.
No, I know.
You got to go into this game with trust in your kicker, regardless of what happened. Because if you start overthinking it and saying we're going to have our punter taking extra points, and if he happens to be the holder, we're going to have a new holder situation, and then you're going to run into Tony Romo 2.0
Yes.
in the
Remember that in
playoffs where a
Seattle?
botched
Yes.
hold.
Yes.
And now it's not just your field goal kicker, it's your
Poor
holder.
Cowboy fan.
You're putting in a way of something he hasn't done before. Like, that's just
So I
bad
agree with
case
you.
scenario.
You go in with a plan, and you got to have confidence. However, don't you have to be prepared in case it goes the other way? As much as I want to believe in my guy, and
Your guy?
Well, if I'm the coach, right? I want to believe in my guy. I want to believe in my kicker, and I don't want him to see my punter taking extra points or
He's doing it secretly.
But honestly, don't you have to prepare in case it goes south again? I'm with you. I'm on Maher. He's my guy. He was really good. He was 50 out of 53 this year. He was 90% on field goals or on extra points, and he was really good on field goals. And he had a bad day at the office. But the bad day at the office was yesterday, and I need him to perform today. And if he comes out and he barks the first 2. What am I doing, man? To your point, okay, I'm going for 2 every time, and so I'm chasing points all night. But what if it comes down to there's 4 seconds on the clock, and I'm down by 2, and I got the ball at the 15-yard line, and I got a chance to win the game with a field goal?
This is
Let
what
him kick it.
the playoffs are all about: redemption stories. And if you're in a situation where that dude is kicking a field goal to win the game, that's a good day, because I don't think they're going to be in field goal range against 49ers. to win the game.
You don't think they're going to win the game. You think the Niners are going to beat them by plenty more. But just see, if you're the head coach, you can't think that way. Like that's a whole nother story that you just said.
Yeah.
And I might even agree with you. But that's a whole nother story. You can't think that way. And by the way, if he's lined up,
Jeff does not want you to think that way in general. But
if you're lined up to kick that field goal and you're Brett Maher, there's a lot of dark places, and in his head's going to be one of them. You know what I mean?
Nope.
I mean, his head will go a lot.
I've seen a lot of missed field goals in playoffs.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. As a
on a
Viking
personal
fan,
note,
100%.
yes, and they've been 100% during the season, and when it comes to that big game, so you just got to have confidence in your kicker.
Yeah, it's just kickers, man. It's not
Everyone.
Kickers are on the big stage because it seems like the whole game comes down to them, and it does.
No, I'm saying though, just have confidence in your players.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page. I think we're on the same page. I can't justify burning a roster spot on a second kicker. If I don't have faith in my kicker, then I got to go the other way. And we're all on that same page?
Yes.
All right. 505-246-06. I don't know where you are. A Cowboy fan, you'd think of all the stuff we'd be talking about going into this big game against the Niners.
Here we are
defense,
talking about our idiot
Dak.
kicker.
Mike McCarthy. Nope. Brett Mayer.
The text line says, how many missed kicks before they pull them this week? Cowboys. Again, pulling for who, though? I don't think you're going to have a second kicker active. It's not like you just go to the bullpen and call him a lefty, right?
Yeah, I think you make that decision before the game. If you're that nervous, if you can't go into that game confident in your kicker, you make that decision before the game.
All right, we'll go to the phones when we get back. I know you got stuff to say at 505-246-0610, 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery hotline, as well as our text line. Love to hear from you there. Gentlemen, how you feeling? Feeling good as the new year starts? If you're feeling sluggish, dealing with just fatigue all the time, depression, weight gain, even erectile dysfunction, I've suggested for a long time you call Numel because they help with those things. Also now, men and ladies, if you are dealing with hair loss, Numel is your spot. They will help you regrow your hair. You just got to give them a call at 505-652-1688. That's area code 505-652-1688, or you can visit them online at Numale, NUMALE.com. Numale is state-of-the-art when it comes to hair restoration, and their professionals will walk you through the options. You'll pick what's best for you to regrow your hair. They will offer you the platelet-rich plasma hair therapy. It uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle. This stops hair loss and you regrow hair. They offer you an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser, which is proven to regrow hair, or a NeoGraft hair transplant, which produces natural-looking results in less than a week, and there's no linear scarring. So, gentlemen, ladies, give Numale a call and get the new year off to a start with maybe some new hair. 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or online at Numale.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11.
Text line says, me and the boys are trying to picture you with a big head of hair, maybe a mullet. What do you think? I could probably go in the back and go mullet. Or should I go new male? Should I come in one day with just hair like Brian Urlacher did? I mean, I've thought about it. I talk about it every day.
Well, if you've read plenty of liners about it, I'm sure you could get the hookup.
Yeah, I got a guy. Right?
Mullet, though?
I mean, I think I could do that just naturally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just let her go back, 505-246-0610. Cowboys and Niners coming up this weekend. And we're talking about the kicker. What did Peyton Manning tell me that time? We're talking about our idiot kicker. I don't know if he's an idiot kicker. He's a kicker who had a bad day at the office, and so they brought in another guy. And how do you feel about it, Bree? How you feel? What do you think they should do?
Well, good morning. Here's
morning.
the thing. I mean, you always need to have a backup contingency plan. I mean, I'm okay with them bringing somebody else in, but I think they've all thought from the beginning it's a bad day at the office, because if they didn't believe that, they wouldn't have had him kick the 5th one. They did it to get him out of his head, to remind him that he can do it, just like.
She gone. But I think she's right. I've heard a lot of people say, why'd they throw him out there for the 5th one? Why throw him out there? What are they doing? They're trying to embarrass. No, I think they were trying to get him back on track. I firmly believe they were trying to get him out of his own head when they threw him out there for the fifth one. I don't think this was, let's embarrass this guy and let him break a record, or let him get the, whatever you call the 5th sombrero or whatever. I firmly believe, and I've heard this a bunch of places, and I can't disagree with it more. They threw him out there, so the last kick he had, they were giving him another chance. So when he put his head on the pillow, the last one he had went through the uprights. Right?
They were in control in that game at that point, so they weren't worried about that extra point costing him the game. So you give him a chance in the game atmosphere that you just missed all those extra points and get a little confidence.
Man, you go for 5. I don't know. Were we having a different conversation than 1 for 4? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, you could see his mechanics. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be.
You are the Aggie special teams coach.
I was supposed to be. Yeah. Jerry Kill.
I forgot about that. How could I forget about that?
I had a big meeting that day. Couldn't make it down.
Yeah.
But
busy.
But I did get down mid-season. They turned things.
Kind of like the head coach.
Mike
You just
McCarthy.
haven't signed your contract yet.
I'm waiting for my bull ring.
Wait for Jerry Jones to be like, I know you're busy, Jeff, but.
Yeah. No, I'm waiting for my bull ring. I know that's coming too. But just go back and look at it. Look at him. It's like a golfer who changed his swing. You can just go back and
free
look
throws,
at
any.
Yeah. No, it got in his head, and of course it would, man. Look, if you miss a bunch of 3-foot putts in a row, it's in your head. And I know we always make a difference, but I don't know. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. All right, I want to get into this as well. I listened to a little of this yesterday, and there were some places who just didn't get into it, and some places who did. But now that Rob Gronkowski's come out, it's getting even more traction. So Aaron Rodgers was on with McAfee on the podcast. What was it? 2 days ago on Tuesday? Is that when they do that? And during his appearance on the McAfee show, he was talking about his future. And this, look, anytime this is Aaron Rodgers' off season, it's like click. Like this is bees to honey, right? Aaron Rodgers, off season, Green Bay. Is he going to play? I mean, I don't know what we're going to do when Rodgers and Brady go away in the next 35 years. And know what we're going to talk about? I'm kidding, kind of. But what are we going to do in the off season when there's no Rodgers and Brady speculation? Who's next? I mean, honestly, we did it with Favre. We did. I don't know what the hell's off season football going to be. But anyway. So he was on there. He was asked about. I think the question was something to the effect, JJ, of, do you see? McAfee said, "I think you're going to play. I can see you out there slinging around." But what do you? Oh, he said, "What do you make of the internet reports?" He was really good how he couched it. That you might not be playing in Green Bay, and he went off for about 3.5 minutes on his future, and he said, a lot of things. He said, "I'm totally fine with everything." He was asked. He said, "I still can play at the NFL level. I still can. I want to win another MVP. I don't want to go through a rebuild." I'm paraphrasing a little bit, right? A lot of things that fine. What he did not say is, "I want to win another Super Bowl." And because everybody's got a microphone, you dissect what he said. And Rob Gronkowski came out and said, "I'm totally fine with everything he said except for one major part, and that's the MVP again. I just think I can win another Super Bowl, and then that would have been totally fine." Why are you talking MVP? Like, don't you want Super Bowls? Super Bowls are, I think, 5 times greater than an MVP award. End quote. That was Rob Gronkowski. He's a 4-time Super Bowl champion who played with Tom Brady, who's won 7, who's won a few MVPs. Does it bother you? Because I'm not going to lie, it feels fabricated ire to me, the people who are losing their mind over this. Does it bother you that he said I could play at that level and didn't talk about Super Bowls?
Well, I think if you're Aaron Rodgers, if you put out there that you can play at an MVP level, that kind of itself should say then we should be competing at the highest level in the NFL. I do think that Aaron Rodgers is very calculated on all this, and there's a reason he continues to do these appearances, and he wants to be talked about, and he wants to say these things that are out in his mind. And I think there's some truth to that. That's the easiest thing to say, is that everyone wants to win a Super Bowl, but he's saying, hey, it's still about me, and if I can play at a high level being an MVP, that's a good thing for the Green Bay Packers or whatever team I'm on. And it might be frustrating right now, but nothing's happening. Like, they're not trading Aaron Rodgers tomorrow. Lamar Jackson's not getting franchise tagged tomorrow. Like, this is filler time for all those players. So he's not holding the Green Bay Packers hostage yet. And then with all this, Green Bay is either going to pay him or trade him, and they have Jordan Love. So we're not quite at the point where this is destroying the franchise. It's just, here we go again for people because we did the same thing last year.
I haven't heard Gronk. I haven't heard the full statement though, so I know media likes to take things and just put one quote. So I don't have that much on it, but I thought it was funny, and I think when I first read that, I was like, oh, that's a good mindset, Gronk. But I haven't heard the full statement. I know people like to just.
Whose full statement?
Gronk.
Rodgers or Gronk's?
Gronk. I don't know where he was speaking about this. I just saw the meme.
Yeah. He was. I don't know where he was. He was on.
You know what I mean, though. Sometimes they don't put the full statement, or they just put a little quote because media likes drama, and Aaron Rodgers loves this.
Yeah.
and-
So Gronk was on something called Up and Adams.
Oh yeah, Kay Adams show on FanDuel.
Okay, so that's where that was.
Okay, I was just curious where it was.
Yeah, so
Thank
that's
you.
where he was asked. That was the context on that. Yeah, part of the quote, and it was a 3.5 minute answer. But Roger said, "quote We all know." I'm sorry. He says, "Do I think I can still play? Of course. I can. I play at a high level. Yes, the highest. I think I can win an MVP in the right situation. Is that Green Bay or is that somewhere else? I'm not sure, but I don't think you should shut down any opportunity." End quote. JJ, I kind of side with you. I think it's implied that if he can play at the MVP level, that it's implied that he would be on a team that would be able to compete for a Super Bowl. Now, he didn't say it, and to me, this is if you like Rodgers, you're like, yeah, get off his back. If you don't like him, you're saying, see, he's all about him. This is all about him. Fact is, let me give you two facts because two things are true here. He is one of the elite quarterbacks, certainly of this generation and probably of all time. Fact. Fact also is he's won one Super Bowl. One. Not more than one, not less than one. One. Dan Marino didn't win one. Ben Roethlisberger's won more than one. Now, is he better than Ben Roethlisberger? I think we all think he is. But Super Bowls for that position in that sport tend to be a very heavy criteria when you start weighing who's the greatest of all time. Now, does it matter? I don't know that it does. Does it matter to him? Maybe, maybe not. I think it probably does. But obviously it matters to people who want to break this down. I'm not going to lie. To me, it didn't bother me. I think he wants to win. I think if he sat here and said, we want to win more Super Bowls, people could have come at him and said, dude, you've been the number one seed how many times and you can't win at home? You scored 3 points against the 49ers, right? Yeah, dude, you had a chance. All you had to do was beat the Lions on the last game of the season, get to the playoffs, and you couldn't do it at home, right? So we can have those conversations as well. I think there's a lot of people, no matter what he would have said, would have picked that.
And it's 1-2 in Green Bay. Who's holding him accountable? They don't have an owner. They don't necessarily have someone that's kind of coming down and putting that pressure back on Aaron Rodgers. So this is the situation you're going to get. You went in as a franchise all in on him, contract-wise, last year, knowing that this was going to happen.
And then surrounded him with rookie receivers.
Green Bay can't sit here and complain about anything because they laid out the contract, they knew what the future would hold, and they let Aaron Rodgers sign it.
And to their credit, I don't think they are. I mean, have you heard anything coming out of them?
No, but I think that's why Aaron Rodgers can play this game more so than another team that might have an owner or someone that's going to push back and say, no, this is what we're doing, and you tell us by this day what it is and where you're going to go. And you don't have that in Green Bay.
All right, what did you hear from Aaron Rodgers? And it's open for you at 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery hotline. It's also the text line. What did you hear or not hear? Does it bother you that he said I can still play and win MVPs? That to me is him saying I can win at a high level. Now, if he would have said I could win MVPs and compete for Super Bowls, would you have been okay with that? Does it bother you what he said, how he said it? Like I said, for me, it's no different than what I think Aaron Rodgers normally says. It didn't strike a chord with me, but I know it's been a hot topic amongst a lot of people. And I want to hear what you have to say at 505-246-0610. 8:30 this morning, Jerry Palm, CBSSports.com is going to be with us. His bracketology is out. We'll talk to him about where the Lobos are, and they are in his bracket right now. Where they are, we'll talk college basketball with Jerry from CBS Sports coming up at 8:30 this morning. Hey, business owners, are your computers and networks secure? Are you sure? I mean, are you really sure? You have to know your system's protected from hackers and cybercrime. A gap in your cybersecurity can do big-time damage to your business, and the threat is real. ABQ IT provides a thorough look at your computer security, and they'll let you know when you're at risk. ABQ IT created this business model, which is designed to protect you from malicious threats. It keeps your computers up to date, and they do it at one affordable monthly cost. And listen to this, by June 9th of this year, many business owners will have to ensure the personal data of your customers is protected. Are you aware of the FTC safeguards rule? Your business might face penalties if you are not compliant by that deadline, which is June 9th of this year. With ABQ IT, you will be prepared. There's no hourly rate, there's no labor billing, there's no hidden fees. Your rate will be predictable. It will not change. You got to protect your business. It's not worth the risk thinking bad things just aren't going to happen to you. Trust the experts in cybersecurity and compliance. Visit abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young, here's one up off the rim. Jarek Dudahl with that shot, and Mask underneath. Defense is not there in time. Good move by Justin Mask.
Well, first. Nice pass. That's working that flex offense right there. And there's another timeout for Coach Bardella.
Montez scans the scene, finds the corner, shot is up. Ooh, there's another one. Aris, that's 9 for Aris as she's hit.
And Coach Segura said there have been some injuries on preps as far as the players, so maybe he's playing zone right now.
Fight's 3 is good. Jackson Fight knocks it down for the left side, from the left side for the Sun Devils. They lead by 10.
They're playing.
A perfect 36 on his ACT composite. Big 3! Buried in by Dylan McCleskey.
Trifectas of her own. Fires it off down low. Campos off the glass, and there it is.
Quick this shot, they got a shot up in 5 seconds. Transition 3's up, and it's hit at the buzzer by Ian Holmesburg. Picture perfect execution, ball that hit the ground in 5 seconds.
Ball is stolen away by Montoya. Sartans are on the break. Calb finds Trujillo. Pump fake. Trujillo was rejected by Terrell. Rebounded by Calb. Hook shot is up. It's good. 2 points for Brian Calb.
Go one-on-one, and this is good things usually have. Oh, great.
H.A. Rivera.
I think the story in this one is the pressure defense that has turned up. They force another turnover. Calb's on the break.
Throw it down.
Calb puts it down. Brian Calb with the dunk in transition.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures.
It's an NBC game. Of course, we have the games here on the radio on The Sports Animal. Saturday evening, Giants and Eagles. Sunday, Bengals and Bills. You wrap up with the Cowboys and the 49ers. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. You get a little breakfast over there?
Continental breakfast.
Oh, you got continental. What you get? Like, what do you get for a continental breakfast? You go
Oatmeal?
Yogurt and oatmeal?
I can see oatmeal.
You got oatmeal?
Eggs and oatmeal this morning.
Eggs aren't cheap now. I'll tell you
So
what.
that is a continental breakfast.
JJ is in America's finest city. He will have Lobo women's basketball for you today, 11:30 here on the Sports Animal. Lobos in San Diego State. Tomorrow night over on the Big Stick, Lobo men's basketball from the Pit, 8:30 p.m. pregame, 9 o'clock tip. Lobos and Boise State. First place Boise State Broncos, who've won 13 of their last 15, will be in the Pit tomorrow night, so that's a big one. 8:30 this morning, we'll talk with Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com, get the latest on his thoughts on bracketology moving forward as now you're starting to think about it. We are in the, it's officially, I mean, we're almost late January now, right? I mean, it's the 19th, so tomorrow becomes late January. That's how fast this thing goes. Hey, we're talking quarterbacks, and we're talking about Aaron Rodgers. There's another quarterback in that division who made, I don't know, a little bit, I don't know if this is news or how this is, but the Vikings GM confirmed that Kirk Cousins is going to be back. And I'm not sure. I think that was a big issue. They signed him to an extension last spring, and it was expected that he'd be there through 2023. He'll be 35 this August. He'll make $30 million, count for 36.5 against the cap. I guess the question, and Amory, this is your beat. Do they sign him to an extension or let him run out on the last year of his contract? And then are you done with Kirk Cousins? God, how long has he been there?
They're done.
It really feels like he's been there for a century.
And it's not a bad thing. I know there's a bad narrative with Kirk Cousins. It's just ran its course. He's a mid-tier, good quarterback, and I believe that they're just going to run out the contract.
Okay, so it expires after this year. He gets his $30 million, and do they draft somebody this year? Are they looking is there a plan?
I hope there's a plan, Jeff. No, but I believe in this new GM and new coach. Yes, I do believe they take one, but not early. Okay. I think we have to address more important positions than a quarterback at this point.
You better figure out what to do defensively.
You got good old Nick Mullins in the back.
Yeah,
the backup spot for now.
What if he wins next year? What if you guys get to the NFC Championship game with Kirk Cousins next year?
Then that would be excellent.
Yeah, then it's a nice problem to have.
It's a nice problem to have, but still, he's a mid-tier good quarterback, and I don't think he's going to sign on for another couple years.
Bigger issue is your stud wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, who became eligible for an extension this month. Now,
and he is about to be about the highest paid receiver, I'm predicting.
He probably should.
And Adam Thielen is going to be leaving the Minnesota Vikings, from your Vikings insider here. And a couple other your veteran
is he
players.
allowed to play somewhere else? Like it feels.
Yeah,
like
there's a couple players.
I'm kind of kidding.
Because he's from Minnesota.
Yeah, he's from there. Small college kid from Minnesota. I mean, he felt like he fit perfectly there. He's made a career out of nothing there. He's been pretty good there.
Mm-hmm.
The Jefferson thing's interesting, right? Because they're going to now talk contract extension. If they can't come to an agreement, they'll pick up his fifth-year option. And if they don't,
I think they'll come to agreement.
Yeah, it's gonna be spendy, right?
It's gonna be he'll probably be the highest paid wide receiver in the league, as he should, as the best receiver in the league.
I think he's one of the best. He's one of the top 3 or 4, right? I mean, who else would you put up there?
Absolutely.
Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins. Who else you put in that ill?
Yeah, and for the Vikings, offensively, they're in a really good place because you know what you're doing with Kirk Cousins next year. That number is locked in. It allows you to attack the defense with your draft picks in free agency, still be a competitive football team next year in a division that I don't see the Packers dramatically turning around, winning, 12, 13 games. I think the Lions are going to be just as competitive. Yep. So if you're Minnesota, you look at this and go, we could be in worse places with our quarterback. We know we can win games. We know we can be successful. You invest in the defense, and then if you kind of have the same thing happen this year, you say, all right, thanks Kirk Cousins, and you're one of those teams that's looking at other veteran quarterbacks and what's on the market.
We need to develop a quarterback too. We just after we're done with Kirk Cousins, we'll go get the oldest guy that's available. I'm telling you.
Which would be at that point, it would be Aaron Rodgers, right? Here comes Brett Favre all over again.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, at that point, it would
so I hope Kirk's our bridge to our next quarterback.
Everybody's a bridge to something, man.
That's what I'm saying.
We are all just bridges to whatever's next.
What was Brady for a million years?
15-year bridge.
A 15-year bridge
from
to
Drew
Mac
Bledsoe to Mac Jones.
Yeah,
That's
there
what
you
he
go.
was,
There you go.
15-year bridge from Drew Bledsoe to Mac Jones. All right, we're going to talk hoops coming up at 8:30 this morning. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is going to be with us. When we come back, I don't know if you've watched any golf. The PGA Tour is underway. You can now soon watch the LIV Tour on television as well. They got a TV deal, JJ. It's done. I'll explain it to you.
Oh, boy.
And what it might mean for your golf viewing and everybody else's. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us. 505-246-0610 is how to be here. That's both the text line and the phone line. You know, you got a lot of options. You can do a lot of things every morning. We are very appreciative that you choose to listen to, and remember that you did. Listen to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports app.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of
Well, there's a
ProView.
new option for you as you're flipping through the channels, if you still do that on linear television. To watch sports on the weekend, you go to ESPN or Fox or NBC or ABC or FS1 or CBS Sportsnet or wherever it is you go. Throw the CW into your rotation. CW, what's that? Is that channel 19 or channel 50?
19.
Okay, I think it's channel 19 too. I think that's right. Live Golf. The Saudi-backed golf tour with all the big names that we've talked about so much that you've been so interested in has reached a multi-year U.S. broadcast television and streaming rights agreement with the CW network to air its live tournaments. So CW will broadcast all of Liv's 14 global events this coming season, although they haven't announced their schedule yet. I know they start next month in Mexico, but they haven't even announced their sites yet for all their tournaments. On the CW over-the-air channel and the app. So, JJ, the way I understand this is the weekends will be on CW, the Friday will be on the app, and they're pretty fired up about this. It sounds like there's a revenue-sharing deal, so there's no rights fee. So Live Golf isn't getting a rights fee for this. There's a revenue sharing to it where they're each going to get inventory. Live is still going to pay the production costs to produce it, just like they did last year. And so CW is kind of getting into this, and it's their foray. It's really their first endeavor into mainstream big sports in America. It's the first time that they have been the exclusive broadcast home for a live mainstream sport. So it's they got an outlet. There was talk with Fox, we heard, and Turner, and this is where it ended up. I think we all thought they'd get a TV deal before the season started. Their season starts next month in Mexico, and you can now watch it. It's a big deal for them, although not as big as I kind of thought, right?
We'll find out just what Live Golf is all about, because it's not that there's not golf fans. It's already hard enough to get a lot of people to watch the non-PGA Tour members at a high not major tournaments at a high number, and now you're dropping this on the CW. It will get its numbers. It'll be fine, but I think it shows you everything you need to know, that it had to be a revenue sharing deal. They have to pick up the costs. But they're getting it on TV, man. So good for them.
I think this will bring in a new market for golf fans, actually.
Smallville fans?
What would be the new market?
I don't know. Maybe people that were never into golf, or
why? So what would attract them to watch Live on CW?
I don't know. They're trying to make the game fast-paced, bring in names. I don't know. It's just like a new sport to some people, maybe.
It's interesting. I don't know what CW's demo is. I don't know honestly what they do 14 hours of primetime programming daily.
Like Supergirl, is that where that stuff is?
I have no idea.
Yeah, like the Vampire Diaries. Like, I know that's a very old show. I don't even know what's on CW.
Vampire.
They're owned by
no, but like shows like teen. I don't know.
You're going into a completely new fan base there. Coming up after Live Golf, Vampire Diaries.
No, I'm saying though,
7 Central.
maybe younger. I don't know. I just think that I'm with you, Jeff. This is a completely different direction than I thought they were going to go. But they are getting a TV deal. Someone's going to be watching it.
Yeah, it's interesting, JJ. When we talk about they struggle with golf and the PGA, like PGA. I'm just looking through the numbers, and I'm trying to find the non-majors. Now the majors do really well, but the everything I understand about regular season. So Saturday coverage, they're getting about 300,000 viewers, up 1%. Friday coverage, they're getting to like people are watching golf as much as they're watching college basketball or watching a lot of this other stuff. I don't there's a reason there's a golf channel. There's a reason NBC.
It's not a shot at golf, Jeff.
No,
we're not talking at the John Deere Classic like, oh my gosh, did you see that this weekend?
Yeah, I'm sorry if I sounded defensive. I'm not taking it as a shot at golf. I'm saying, are they struggling to get viewers? No more, I don't think, than anything else outside of football. Is my point. There's still people who are watching golf, and so to A. Marie's point, would it be a new audience? Like, are the teen
I
vampire...
mean, the people who are watching the new 90210, I didn't even know there was a new alt one. DC, Stargirl, Blue Mountain State.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of, like, I don't know.
Yeah. So that's exactly where you're going. Is that their new audience? I don't know. Now
It
here
helps
you
you get an audience at least,
Yeah.
because people that are looking for sports and click on the guide button will scroll to it on the weekend. So it's a positive step for Live Golf.
Yeah. Actually, JJ, so this will support you a bit. This is dated October 4th of last year. PGA TV ratings fall 60%, and Live took away from that. So Live had an average of 115,000. So it feels like some of those people went over there. So maybe there is something to it. But they're still averaging on a Sunday, over 500,000 people on for the John Deere, for that kind of stuff. So, that's what people are. When you put Arizona and UCLA on Fox basketball, it's kind of what they're getting too.
And you can watch it on YouTube TV, Hulu,
the
CW network.
Yeah.
So you can all these streaming services it's available on.
Yeah. Look, it's there, and it's going to be a player this year. Now, this will be really kind of their first full year, and Greg Norman, who is, what is he, their CEO or whatever, he's their mouthpiece, in his Australian accent said this is a momentous day for Live Golf, as the partnership's about more than just media rights. The CW will provide accessibility for our fans and maximum exposure for our athletes and partners, as their reach includes more than 120 million households across the United States. We are very proud to note how consequential it is that a league that has only existed for 1 year has secured a full broadcast deal in its debut full league season. End quote. Well, I mean, that's happened before too. USFL in their first year gets rights. I mean, WNBA, it's happened. It's not like it's never happened before. It's good that they've got their rights. It's very nice. And now you'll be able to see them. I think this is a big deal for them and for their exposure. This could be a big year. And how that goes, this will be the first year that you expect Live Golf to be on the schedule, right? Against, to your point, Jay, the John Deere or
It's going to be, the thing to watch out for, the PGA Tour this season, is they have a Netflix show. And if anyone is familiar with Drive to Survive, the Netflix series that's been on the last few years, they go behind the scenes, they follow the entire season, they get you, in the drama, everything that's going on. That could be the game changer for the PGA Tour, is because they are doing that over last year's PGA Tour season. So behind the scenes, one-on-one interviews with the players, the PGA Tour reality show. I think that is something to watch out for. Will that bring more people in? Will that get people to want to tune in on a daily basis? Because it's kind of what Live Golf is doing, is saying, hey, we're more fun, we're out here, we're less structured than the PGA Tour. So it would be really interesting to watch that, because I think it might be next month that series comes out.
And where's it going to be? It's on Netflix, you said?
The Netflix. So it's PGA Tour. It's the same format they did for Formula One, Drive to Survive, and Formula One exploded in terms of where their popularity was in the United States to where it is now.
So what's the concept? You're just going behind the scenes with everything on the PGA Tour, like to the hotel, the driving range, or driving tournament to tournament?
Oh, there's a new one coming out February 15th. I can't wait.
And they just follow different dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, and it's one where they're doing kind of one-on-one interviews, but they mix it in with the season, what's going on, the tournaments, and the previews that they've had. Roy McIlroy is a big part of it. He's not shying away from anything he said in public. They address PGA Tour versus Live Golf, how the players are handling it in the moment, and something like that could be really big, because golf is solid, but could you get it to be where you want to talk about it more? And I think that's the thing with Live Golf, with the PGA Tour, is how do we get a few more storylines in there outside of the majors? How are we more consistent over a time period where people are looking for things to jump onto? People are looking for a little drama over the summer with sport.
Do you think the poaching slows down? Meaning the guys who are on PGA are staying with PGA, the guys who are at Live are staying for Live for a while. And so, because to me the story last year was who's leaving the PGA Tour to go to Live. And the other the story was, are they able to play in the majors? But now that you've kind of got your guys, you know who Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka and those guys are over there. And do I just watch golf now, or what's going to be the intrigue? Because
it feels like it slowed down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's been the off season, so the sustainability, I think, and the intrigue. How the PGA is your go-to. They've got the Golf Channel. They got their own channel. They got the major networks. You got NBC and CBS. Jim Nance is there. You got those guys. Will people go over and watch that, and will it get covered? Because I mean, coverage is a big deal too, as well. As it settles now into the calendar, I'm going to be interested to see week to week.
Yeah, I'm also interested to see how the major golf tournament broadcasts handle it, because a lot of these live golfers are going to play in major events. They've been granted an opportunity.
Yep.
And is it going to be live versus PGA Tour? Like, is that going to kind of come out through the broadcast? Because I think a lot of people would kind of have rooting interest all of a sudden. When you're pulling for the PGA Tour guys, you're pulling for live golf. And I think, I was just sitting here and talk about the broadcast for both of these, live and PGA. I think for golf, that's actually a great thing if you have these two entities kind of battling each other in major tournaments.
As long as people are talking about you, right? Yeah. I mean, I think that's right. I don't know that they settle this thing. I don't think this merges for a number of years. I think there's going to be a split for a while. At some point, I think they find a happy medium on this. But I don't see them making peace anytime soon. All right, Jerry Palm's going to be with us coming up at 8:30 from CBSSports.com. We'll talk to him about college basketball, where the Lobos fit into his bracket. And we'll talk kind of on a national basis. Got some NFL stuff for you that's coming down this morning as well when we come back. And with the Cowboys kicker situation, I asked you the question this morning, what do you do? You've got Vizcaino in, you've got Maher in. Who's your guy? I don't think you're dressing two. And how concerned are you? And the fact that we're talking about your kicker going into the divisional round of the playoffs is a story in its own right. I'll tell you a story in its own right. I found a jewelry store that is unlike any other jewelry store, period. I went to John Thomas Jewelers a couple weeks ago, and it just overwhelmed by how impressive this place is. And this is the most beautiful custom jewelry place, certainly in New Mexico, and probably in anywhere you've seen. It's low pressure, high quality, and it's not one of those mega jewelry stores you go in and you look around and you got to pick a ring out of the case. Look, when you're ready to make her your wife, when you're done calling her your girlfriend and it's time, and you're looking to make the transformation complete, make sure you stop in and see John Thomas Jewelers. You're going to be amazed not only of what they can do custom-wise, but how affordable it is. They've been voted best jeweler in Albuquerque for years now. They're the only 5-star Google-rated jeweler in the state. They're the only store in Albuquerque who actually travels to Antwerp, the diamond capital of the world, and they hand-select their diamonds. They've got the only 3D-capable laser engraver in the state. This is a different level. But don't let it scare you when you think it's not affordable. You're going to be amazed at what they can do because they do everything on site. They don't have to ship things all over the country to get the work done. If you can dream it, they can make it. They'll pull out you're going to look at different options on bands and then different stones and then different ways to customize it. When you're done, you're going to have that beautiful, beautiful, unique custom piece that you've always dreamed of when it's time. And Valentine's Day is coming up. So boys, it is time. Get over to see John Thomas Jewelers. They're on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building on Louisiana. 1 block south of Manal, right across from the what's the dang mall? Coronado? Is that what it's called? Yeah. I can't remember that place. Just on the east side. 1 block south of Manal, 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. It's John Thomas Jewelers. If you can dream it, they can make it.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been.
Text line says, well, it's not the text line, it's my private text. The CW where Live Golf goes to die. I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you one thing about CW. I haven't watched it. Doesn't mean nobody else does, right? I'm not going to sit there and tell you I don't. Just because I do, nobody does. They got a network. Now, Gopher said the new 90210 and Stargirl. Jeff, someone's reading off an old list. The new 90210, and new is in quotes, ended 10 years ago. Stargirl aired its last CW episode in December. So either one of you guys found the wrong list or they haven't updated their website in 10 years.
Okay, the fact is people are watching. So it might not be JJ and I, but you know what?
Yeah.
I knew of it and what kind of quote-unquote shows
Yeah, you watched it back in the day. All right. I mean...
Yeah, One Tree Hill.
Heck yeah, One Tree Hill. Are you kidding me? The drama?
What was One Tree Hill?
It was like our teenage drama when JJ and I were in high school.
Really? Was
Yeah.
it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
All right, can they do?
I liked it for the basketball.
Can they do a reboot?
They actually have a live podcast and they go on tour with all the original cast members.
Sweet.
If anyone gives a hoot.
CW alum.
Anyways.
Carl says, can Tiger Woods win without a breeze, Jeff? Don't look now, but the Masters is around the corner while everyone's is starting their prep races. I don't think Tiger Woods good enough anymore to be sharp for Augusta with just a couple of walkthroughs around the course with Joey LaCava. No, probably not, Carl. But look,
what?
This is, first of all, the Tiger talk will start because Tiger is probably going to play in the Masters. And he's not going to play with a bunch of tournaments. And he's said, my body's not going to do it anymore. His leg will never be able to do a regular schedule, let alone he's 46 years old. So you're at that point. Enjoy Tiger 4 times a year if you get him. Enjoy him for what he's worth. Is he going to probably win at JJ? I don't think he'll win again a major. Now, I called he would win the last one, right? I was one of the few who was on the side that he was going to win another one. But if he's only going to play 5, 6, 12 times a year, he's probably not going to. He's not going to be that sharp. These guys are really good. These guys are really good out there. And Tiger's great. It's a different level now. Lynn wants to know, JJ, what can we expect at noon when you go on the air? Teams are approaching the starting gate. It's post time. Is it a one-score game, Jeff, like the Lady Lobos and Aztecs usually play? Lynn wants to know what we're getting from you coming up here at 11:30 Mountain Time here on The Sports Animal.
I think that's the biggest unknown right now of what you're going to get out of the Lobos. They've not looked good on the road in conference play. Struggled at the start. Colorado State, Wyoming, they hit 6 field goals combined in the second and third quarters at UNLV. And San Diego State is, I think it's probably the third best team right now in the Mountain West. I'd have it UNLV, Colorado State, San Diego State, and then Wyoming right now. And we just saw Colorado State.
Even in that top 5 list, were they?
They're not. They haven't competed with these teams yet. This is their first opportunity to play San Diego State. They're a veteran team. They have 6 fifth-year players. The transfer portal has been phenomenal for the Aztecs, and it's all finally clicking. This is their best start in like 11 years at San Diego State. They're 10-1 at home. They got guards that can score, and the Lobos, all the questions are about New Mexico. Can you be competitive in these games against the top teams in conference, because you have not shown that to this point.
Yeah. All right, that's 11:30 pregame, noon tip in San Diego. JJ is there. He'll have the call. Lobo women's basketball against the San Diego State Aztecs tomorrow night. At the pit, it'll be Lobos and Boise State, the first-place team in the league, or tied for first place in the league. Boise State with the highest net ranking in the league, won 13 out of 15. 8:30 pregame over on News Radio KQOB. Look at Adrian, man. You are up on the graphics, too. Mike, great work on the visual. 8:30, 9 o'clock tip-off tomorrow. Gopher wants to know major OD quarterback omission. So we spoke with Dylan Hopkins yesterday, the transfer quarterback from UAB who's on campus starting school, I believe, today at UNM. You've got the Tab Scott, who's they're going to announce, I believe, coming over, transferring from Appalachian State. You've got the 2 freshmen. And he said, when you were running down the Lobo football quarterback room, I don't think you mentioned the 2022 starter, Justin Holiday. What is his future? JJ, I don't know, and I'm going to guess, his future is he's part of the mix going out and competing, right?
That's all we know right now.
The job.
We haven't seen him in the transfer portal. It's go out there. Can you beat one of these guys to be the quarterback? If you can, good on you.
Mm-hmm. His job, where is he? He'll go out there in the spring and compete and try to impress the new offensive coordinator. And Dylan Hopkins is going to be the guy who's got the front seat, probably because his familiarity and success with Bryant Vincent, who's the offensive coordinator, who was his head coach at UAB. That's why he's here. I'm going to guess he didn't come over here for his last year, assuming that he was going to sit on the bench. All right, you ready to pour cold water on your Lobo, Joy?
Oh, no.
Ren's so frustrated with Lobo basketball right now. They're 17-2, mind you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they just won at San Diego State. They're 17-2, I want you to keep in mind. They were the last undefeated team in America. They're really, really good. They're ranked, JJ, 35, 37 net ranking? Okay. Jeff, with this kind of team, this was the season to put them up against quality competition, one of those high-level holiday tournaments. Jacksonville State and Northern Colorado could have waited until next year if Lobo basketball reverts to the mean. It's from Ren. Basically, Ren's saying missed opportunity in the MTEs, multi-team events, where they look, first of all, I don't know that you were invited to the Maui Invitational. I know, ESPN Events has had conversations with UNM in efforts to get back into their rotation of MTEs. You never look. First of all, let's hope they don't revert to what they were next year, right? Do you feel like it was a missed opportunity?
I think it evened out adding Oral Roberts and San Francisco. But this schedule was probably finalized before they knew the team they were going to have this year.
Yes. I mean, they had no idea. They were hoping they were going to get these two bigs in there. They were going to make the impact they did. Look, it's so uncertain. Everything you take a swing and you hope you hit. This was the schedule they put together previously, and this is what they got. You know what I do know? And I don't know what the Lobo men's MTE is, but I saw, and I know you saw this. Next year, the Lobo women are going. You're spending Thanksgiving in Cancun, aren't you?
Ooh.
Regardless, we're going to Cancun.
Huh?
Can you bring a +1?
Yeah.
You bring Tilly.
You're going to Cancun
Austin.
for Thanksgiving next year. I just saw yesterday. Lobo women will play Montana State. And
Wow, that's fun.
what else did I see? It's Montana State.
Georgia Tech
Georgia Tech
are the games they got.
Yeah, going down to Cancun. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
I know it's not.
Is that why you asked me yesterday how to get a passport?
Yes.
I thought it was so random, and it made me think, gosh, when does my passport expire? I literally was thinking that yesterday.
Hey.
And then I saw that yesterday afternoon and went, ding, that's why JJ was talking about getting a passport.
JJ, it's so sad. I've traveled all over the country and living in New York City. Everyone thought my New Mexico driver's license was a passport. So you might just be okay.
All right, when we come back, we're talking college basketball on the national scale and where do the Lobos play into it. Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com will be with us next on the opening drive. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
Tomorrow becomes late January when it becomes the 20th. But you're all looking at brackets now, and especially with the Lobos at 17-2, and you're looking at them, and everything is so insanely fluid. It's the opening drive. Jeff Sabieta and JJ Buck. I want to say Saturday, JJ, was it 8 ranked teams got beat, including the Lobos winning at San Diego State? And just look, this is happening every night. I mean, last night, 8th ranked Xavier went down. 14th ranked TCU got beat. 15th ranked Connecticut got beat last night. Who else Arkansas got beat last night. It happens every night, and it's changing, and it's fluid, and it all goes into the formula that Jerry Palm puts together. You read him every day over on CBSSports.com, and he joins us every Thursday right about this time. Good morning, Jerry Palm. How you living?
I'm all right. How are you?
It's crazy. It's good, and it's kind of fun around our hood. You and I have been doing this for, since I was back at the old station, coming up on 17, 18 years now. I appreciate you giving us your time. And I think you remember a little bit when New Mexico was good in basketball, and now that they're 17-2, there's a good buzz around this city again.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good basketball town. So, you know, it's nice. It's usually, you know, both teams can be pretty good.
Right.
And, you know, it's right now it's, you know, New Mexico State's struggling, but New Mexico's having a really good year, and it's nice to see, you know, basketball successful in New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico State dropping off from winning a game in the NCAA tournament last year to be an 0-6 in the WAC is a story in its own right. You've got Lobos right now as a 10 seed. How important, and explain, we've been trying to explain to people around here, like the loss to Fresno State was a tough one on the road, and UNLV, who's won once in league, just because of metrics. It doesn't matter what your eyes tell you, it's because of metrics. But just as important was winning.
It does matter what your eyes tell you.
Yeah, okay. But just important was winning in San Diego.
Yeah, well, winning, and St. Mary's, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a top 10 team in the net.
And
they're not a top 10 team. Okay. So
doesn't it matter what your eyes tell you?
It does matter.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got them, I think, around a 10 seed as well in my bracket. If I'm, actually, I do have them as a 6. I'm sorry. I've got them higher.
Yeah.
But, that's a 6 seed for the number 18 in the net. So it's really, Florida Atlantic is in the top 15.
So explain that, though. How do you have them? So if the metrics
Sure.
tell you where they are, how do you have them there?
Because it's not about the metrics. It's just the metrics don't make decisions. The metrics of the net ranking of your opponent is much more important than your own. But in January, teams have only played a handful of conference games, so 3/4 of the schedule that teams have played so far is non-conference games. And for teams like St. Mary's in New Mexico and Florida Atlantic, that's a lot of road games, which is a factor in the net rankings. Home and road is a big deal. Margin of victory is a big deal. And strength of schedule, of course, is a big deal. And as for some of these schools, their better teams on their schedule are outside the league. Now, in the Mountain West, that's not necessarily true. The Mountain West has got 6 teams on the board, my board. They're not all in the bracket. They're not even all, including the first 4 out. They're not all 6 in that group. But 6 teams that I've got that are part of the teams, a larger group of teams that I consider. So the Mountain West has got, as they go through conference play, they're not hurting themselves as much as, say, what Florida Atlantic is, which has got maybe 2 other teams in the top 100 of the net in their conference. So Florida Atlantic may keep winning and drop in the net rankings because their strength of schedule will suffer.
That makes sense.
But that full strength of schedule hasn't kicked in yet, which is why you see some of these teams, especially in the non-major leagues, with maybe gaudy net rankings that probably won't hold up over time.
Jerry Palm, CBSSports.com, is with us on the opening drive this morning.
Well, Jerry, as we're getting deeper and deeper into conference play, who are some of the teams that have really impressed you this season that you've been able to watch?
Purdue. Yeah. Seriously, Purdue was not a top 25 team to start the season. They're winning with 2 freshman guards and a cheat code at center. Zach Edey is a unique. Yes. Matt Painter calls him a unicorn. He really is, because he's not 7'4" and plodding. He's 7'4" and athletic, not Zion Williamson athletic, but he's not a stiff by any stretch of the imagination. And there's no plan to defend him. You either double team him, try to deny him the ball, and leave 3-point shooters open, or you cover the 3-point guys and take your lumps and hope that he can't beat you by himself. And neither of those is working very well because Purdue's 17-1. So they've been a real surprise this year. Kansas State's been one of the big surprises. They were picked for last in the Big 12, and they're now a top 10 team. They get the big win over Kansas the other night. They're fighting for a potential number 1 seed in the toughest league in the country, in the Big 12. That's a tremendous story this season. Houston having another great year, running roughshod over just about everybody they play. Alabama's having a tremendous year. There's a lot of teams that are capable of winning the national championship this year. I don't think there's a dominant team or 2 like we have seen in some other years. But I think we could be setting ourselves up for a pretty exciting NCAA tournament.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, joining us on the opening drive. So on the flip side of that, is there anyone that you're really surprised that they've struggled so much to this point?
Yeah. UConn, after the start they got off to, has now lost 5 out of 6 in conference play and just can't seem to figure it out. I think they were without head coach Danny Hurley and one of the assistants last night at Seton Hall because of COVID. So obviously that's not helping, but that's the 5th loss, not all of them. But yeah, that's a team that got off to a really hot start and has struggled. Ohio State has lost 5 in a row after losing at Nebraska last night. They lost at home to Minnesota. That's the only team Minnesota's beaten in conference play so far. And I say so far because they're playing Purdue tonight at home. And it's a house of horrors for Purdue. That barn, I won't even watch the game. I just can't stand it. So, Ohio State, Michigan struggles this year have been a little baffling. The ACC is down again, although not quite as bad as last year. But it's, Duke hasn't been Duke yet. Carolina hasn't been Carolina, what we thought they would be yet. That maybe those things will still happen, but because there's talent there, it's just not living up to it. So yeah, there's definitely some places where confusion reigns. But other than the Mountain West, it's a down year for the non-majors, because you look at the American, it might be just Houston if they run roughshod through that league like they're capable of. It might be a one-bid league in the Atlantic 10. I don't know how it's not a one-bid league. I have no idea where an at-large team is coming from in a league that normally gives us a couple at-large teams. And other than the Mountain West, which I've already described to you, maybe the West Coast Conference has one. It's going to be a major conference-heavy NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think St. Mary's and Gonzaga get in, and Santa Clara is pushing. Hey, I want to talk to you about the talk on expansion of the tournament. And there's been a lot of talk over the last week about expanding to 96 teams and what that would mean. How valid is that talk? Your thoughts on that?
It's premature at best. The reason people are talking about it is because this transformation committee recommended that every sport expand their postseason to 25% of the members. So my idea for that is expand the NIT. Make it 128, who cares? Make it, who cares? The NCAA tournament should go back to 64. That's how I feel about expansion. They should go back to 64. 96 would be an unmitigated disaster. You're going to have under 500 teams in the tournament. Overall, not under 500 in conference, because we already have that. You're going to have teams that are under 500 overall in the NCAA tournament if you expand to 96.
Jerry, it feels to me if there's one thing in sports that's not
disaster.
broken, it feels if there's one thing that's not broken, it's the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would just be, and here's the thing. I mean, maybe they think there's more TV money in it, and maybe once they shop it, they'll find out it's not really that much more, because nobody's going to watch those early games except people betting on them, which, maybe that's a lot of people. But like the casual fans, the people who fill out their brackets, they're going to wait till it gets down to 64 like they do now, because no one's filling out a 96-team bracket. That's ridiculous. So you can't even carry a 90. You'd have to have it'd be like a poster board to put a 96-team bracket together.
Do you think it happens?
No, there's no discussion really right now among the people at the NCAA to do that. Do I think they'll expand? Yeah, they probably will, because they're kind of stupid that way.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like that's.
But I don't think they'll go to 96. Right. I don't think they'll go to 96 in my lifetime.
Okay. Yeah, everything gets bigger.
But it may kill me if they go to 96.
Yeah,
so.
Right. I'm kind of with you on this. It feels right. It feels right. It's competitive. You have the NIT. The NCAA tournament is special, and everybody gets.
Well, and somebody talked about how this would give other schools access points to the postseason.
Would it?
Every school already has access points to the postseason in March through their conference tournaments.
Yep.
So you don't need to add a whole bunch of crap. Really, do we need to see Minnesota in the NCAA tournament? No, we don't. So why do we need to give them an access point?
Yeah, no, and that gives the conference tournaments the credibility.
There's no reason to play them, actually. If they expand the tournament to 96, there's no real reason to play them.
Right. All right, enjoy a big one for Purdue. Boy, it's got to be a fun season having your alma mater as the #1 team in the country. Keep it rolling. Read them every day. His brackets are up. How often do you update the brackets?
Mondays and Fridays.
All right, so it's coming out again
until we get to championship week.
All right, so you can see it tomorrow. Read them on CBSSports.com. Follow them on the Twitter at JPPalmCBS. We'll catch you next week, Jerry. Enjoy the weekend.
All right, thanks.
See you. JJ, he talked about the Mountain West. The very first thing he was talking about was your opponent's net rankings, all that stuff. Very first segment this morning, we were talking about the San Diego State game last night against Colorado State, and that there is the reason why I think the rest of the league should have been rooting for San Diego State. Even as much as you dislike San Diego State, you didn't want them to lose to Colorado State last night, because that makes your win at San Diego not as valuable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and there's still, as you said, there is an eye test component to this. The committee watches not every single game, but they're tasked with watching a certain amount of games. So the way you play, what you look like, absolutely does factor in, and it's a balance. You're bringing all these different metrics together to try to figure out who the 68 teams are outside of the automatic qualifiers, so that number is cut in half. So your at-large field is, like 32 teams?
or something like that, yeah.
That you're trying to figure out, or the 33 other teams that we feel are eligible, and it's all those factors. And for the Mountain West right now, you want that. He said there's 6 teams on his board, and that is really good for the Mountain West. Doesn't mean all 6 teams are getting in,
They will not.
but it means there's quality games on your schedule.
He's got 3 in, and then Nevada as the first team out. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex Fast Max.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Look at what did I tell you? 4 ranked teams, 5 ranked teams lost last night. UConn and Arkansas and Xavier and right and 8 over the weekend on Saturday. Lobos winning at San Diego State. Teams are beating each other up. But I think as you watch, and I'm never going to tell you how to be a fan. But if you're looking for the Lobos' interest, so in a game like last night, if you were watching San Diego State play Colorado State and went overtime, the Aztecs beat the Rams in overtime 82-76, which was a really ugly game until probably midway through the second half. It kind of got really competitive. I think you're rooting for San Diego State. And you're like, hell no, Jeff, I'll never do that. Well, but you kind of are, because a loss to a 10-10 team hurts their ranking, and you just beat them. And the more they win, the fact that you beat them, it helps you, it helps your conference, and it sets you up for another potential quality victory when they come to the pit. Does that all make sense?
It does, and the Lobos are in a tough situation right now, and it goes back to one of the previous emailers we had. The schedule wasn't good this year, and they have enough good wins on it that the fact that they racked up a bunch of those victories against a softer schedule has allowed them to be a team in the conversation, has allowed some of the other metrics to be good enough. And you see, oh, okay, they beat top 100 team in San Francisco, top 75 team potentially in Oral Roberts. You beat San Diego State. But the Lobos don't have a big margin for error. And all this stuff affects what happens. If other teams start losing, that could open up at large spots, and there's a lot of movement. But the Lobos' strength of schedule right now is 263. Yeah. That's why they're sitting there as a 10 seed.
Out of 361, yeah.
That's why they're on the bubble last 4 and not solid right now. They go out there and handle their business and pick off a Boise State, beat a Nevada, beat a Utah State. That lays that foundation, and you're pouring more and more of that concrete for the Lobos. But the reality is, even with that gaudy record that they have, they got to be on point against top of the Mountain West, because they do not have many more Fresno State UNLV games available.
And you got to avoid those losses. Now, the UNLV game, as much as You look at the standings, and UNLV is 1-5 in conference, 1-4 in conference play. That loss didn't kill you, at least as of now. It doesn't, because UNLV in the net rankings is number 76. Crazy enough, right? Now, the Fresno State loss is going to hurt. It's a 205 loss. Yeah, it was on the road. That's the ones you got to avoid. If you're going to lose Boise State, San Diego State, Nevada, now you don't want to lose any of them. I got it. I'm not saying you should go lose, but that I don't know that you can afford many more Fresno State, 200 RPI net ranking losses, right? And that's
you
what
can't even
Jerry's
afford under 100 at this point if you want to be confident at-large team where the Lobos are coming from.
Yeah, and like Jerry just said, he's got the 8th ranked team in the nation, 8th ranked, but on a 6th seed, which would be like ranked 24th through 28th, right? 24, 25, 26, 27, right? That's that line. That's where he's got a 6. That's not right. Yeah, that is right. That is right. So that's. I'm not going to tell you how to root and how to cheer. And look, I get it. If you detest a team, you detest a team. But that's what it all means going forward. All right, going to reset for you at the top. Cowboys have a kicker. What JJ's got this afternoon, a little NBA last night. Boy, you got 2 red-hot teams out west. 2 really good teams riding some streaks. Is the final really going to be them versus them in the West? It might be. It's opening drive. Adrian's producing on the visual medium. That's ProView Networks, Comcast Channel 26, and on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. A. Marie's producing on radio. It's me and JJ Buck. Thank you for listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Castillo, and JJ Bob.
You know, we haven't jumped into this a lot with the conversation of expanding the NCAA tournament. I don't even know where you are as basketball fans, as college basketball fans. I don't know where you are on this. Do you want expansion? Do you believe that would be more access to the NCAA tournament? As a Lobo fan, do you think that's good? I just got a text from a guy who knows the business really, really well, and he said CBS Sports does not want that extra ad inventory. If they go to 96 teams, I think the NCAA will lose negotiation leverage with broadcasters. You know, it's a fine line between how much sports inventory is out there. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, Amory, and Adrian. Do you think the general public, like college basketball fan, wants, and granted, I understand nobody gives a damn what you or me or the guy who watches basketball cares, but do you think the average basketball fan wants this tournament to expand?
No.
I agree with you. Do you feel like this is one of those, like, it's not broken?
Yeah, this isn't like going from 4 to 12, because you're just talking about adding one or two more conference champions and a really good football team, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. 12 playing for a national title within the bowl system. Here, you would have an entire weekend, and I agree with Jerry Palm. Like, there's the crazies out there. Like, we'd be like, oh, well, look, we just filled out a 96-team bracket. But early games against below 500 teams that get in there just because they played in the Big Ten or SEC is not exciting. It's not better for the product. And you know what it might actually do is hurt, quote-unquote, March Madness, because a lot of your Cinderella teams probably bounce out early in reality.
Because they're going to be in those rounds. Yeah.
Get got by a Minnesota in an off night, or Nebraska gets them, Clemson comes through. And then so you get to 64, and you're just left with a field of
Big 12, SEC,
power conference teams.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. This is, there's some things in sports that happen in, for instance, the expansion of wild card in baseball. I didn't like it. I didn't like when they went from 2 divisions to 3. But you know what? It worked. Then they went at a wild card. I'm like, okay. Then they add another wild card, but it feels like it worked. This one I'm dreading. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think the NCAA tournament is, and I'll argue it's better than the Super Bowl in this respect. It is a 3-week, really, 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 really compelling product that gets people from every corner of the country interested, because there's that year that Belmont College is in and all the Belmont alumni are in, and UC Davis gets in one year, and everybody's got a bracket, and everybody cares. Everybody's somehow involved. The Super Bowl is a one-day thing, and people are going to watch the halftime show or watch the commercials or whatever, and they don't. It's football. It's cool. I would argue the NCAA tournament is the best annual sporting event we have in our country.
And I have to agree with you on that one. Office pools, people getting involved, people following along, because like you said, attract you for a couple weeks. Super Bowl, that 4 hours, that window, you know what you're doing that Sunday. You're locked in. This is different, and because you can fall in love with the unexpected teams, the Cinderella stories, and there's a good enough balance because your great teams, your blue bloods are always going to be there at the end. So you have your balance of been there, done that, good basketball teams, and then the occasional team out of nowhere, the underdog story. The formula works, and when we're talking about adding one NFL playoff team, 3 more baseball teams to it, so like 6 total overall, you're still in a pretty good percentage of the overall teams that are good that get an opportunity. Adding 30 some odd more teams to the NCAA tournament, I don't see how that, even if we're talking in 10 years from now and it becomes like one of those things like, oh, we see it where we're getting excited as looking down, even if it opens the door for oh look, and it's 15 and 17 Colorado State playing Virginia Tech that came in 16 and 16. You're like, okay.
Yeah. So there's a couple things. I like Jerry's idea. If the NCAA is asked their sports to get 25% to the postseason, and there's 361 teams, so I mean we're looking right around that 90-something number. It's a little higher. 90-something is higher than 25%. Put them in the NIT. So expand the NIT and it gets you there. I am all in favor of always looking to make things better, okay? And as good as the NCAA tournament is, can they make it better? And so if they've got a committee and whoever's working on this and is throwing around ideas to make it better, I applaud them for not sitting on their laurels and just saying, okay, we're fine, just roll out the same product every year and expect it to just kill it. I absolutely applaud them for wanting to be elite, not just great. I appreciate that. And I'm all for it. But I don't know if this is the answer. And sometimes something works, you don't need to, because I think that's an overhaul. I think going from 68 to 96 isn't a tweak, isn't working on making it better. To me, that's an overhaul. That changes the tone, the formula, the feel of the entire event. And I'm going to go back to what I said. I just feel that this is the best sporting event in our country. It is a multi-week annual sporting event, a multi-week, uber-inclusive event that touches people that even the Super Bowl doesn't. Oh, you buy a Super Bowl square at the Super Bowl party. But, I mean, when you go to the Super Bowl party, how many people are there? And there's always a good number depending on what kind of party you're going to, right? Who are there just to watch the commercials or the halftime show. And they don't care. That's cool. You watch the March Madness game. I mean, Marion Accounting, and I know we always say that, who always wins the damn pool, kind of is in on Providence to beat Xavier.
Looking at the scoreboard and keeping an eye on it. And this is one, too, that everything's geared towards the power conferences already. And we understand that. They back it up. They do. When you get to the NCAA tournament, those teams are winning games. But if you go to 96, it's not like all of a sudden 5 more Sunbelt teams are going to get in. You're just going to get like the entire Pac-12, entire Big 12, entire ACC. Big 10, entire ACC. Like that's what the field's going to be loaded with. It's not going to be these other Cinderella stories. And if the one thing about college basketball, with the automatic bid, you usually get the best teams. There's that outlier, and if you want to address something as a smaller conference, the focus there is, do we need a postseason tournament or not? If you're constantly in a one big league, that's the change, not adding 96 teams.
Yeah, should the conference tournament champion get the automatic bid? And if not, then why are you playing a conference tournament? Every league now has gone to that. Every league, and it's been an evolution over the last probably 35 years. Yeah, the Ivy League was the last one. There's money in the conference tournament. There's money in the television rights. There's money in the gate. There's money in a conference tournament. To your point, if you want to get your best team in, then put your regular season champion in. Now, the argument against it is, well, but they got hot towards the end. They got healthy, and they got a chance. The other argument would be the NCAA tournament is already expanded. 361 teams. I can make this argument. 361 teams, when you hit the postseason, are in the tournament. And the conference tournaments are just another leg. They're just the other extension of the final bracket of 68. because every single team in America, whether they're 0-30 or 30-0, has a chance, theoretically, to play themselves into the NCAA tournament, right? Because every league has a conference tournament, and every league's conference tournament champion gets their AQ, their automatic qualifier. So we're already honestly, we're already at the point where the NCAA tournament is all 360 whatever teams. Now, it's not
open
under
to
that
everyone.
Name. It is. It absolutely is. And expanding it, I'm with Jerry. I don't want to see that. That's one of those things that I'm kind of dreading, and feels like it's gaining the momentum to happen. Now, I'll tell you, probably every coach in America is for it. You know why? Because every coach in their contract has a bonus if they get to the NCAA tournament. Now, if you're going to add 30 more spots or 28 more spots, that makes it more likely that you get your $10,000 or your $100,000 or $200,000 bonus or whatever the heck it is. So I got to believe the coaches are going to be in favor of this. Well, it's more opportunity. It's more coaches who are going to the NCAA tournament, right? And if
I think that'd be a dividing line, because we have heard some high-level coaches talk about actually like shrinking the field and getting rid of the quote-unquote mid-majors.
Well, but those are the coaches who get there every year, right? Those are the Bill Selfs, the Caliparis, the guys who are there every single year anyway, right? You got guys down at this level. Now, I don't know what Nico Medved, or it would be easy to find Richard Pitino's contract, what it is as a bonus to get into the tournament. But I think there'd be a fine line amongst that fine line, too, don't you? All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. I just got one in about expanding the tournament. I'm interested where you are, right? Lobos haven't been in, 8 years now? Aggies had been there a number of times over the last decade. The talk of expanding the NCAA tournament makes you feel what? Because I'll tell you straight up, I've told you why I don't think it's right. And it feels like it's the best annual sporting event in our country. And I don't know that we need to go, and you can tweak it. When we went 64 to 68, okay, a few more got in and it opened up. I don't know that we need to blow this whole thing up. 505-246-0610. Ask you all the time who's watching your home. Good guys watch my home every day. IPS comes by every single day, International Protective Service. It's a security company that we have chosen to watch our home for many, many years. It gives my family, my neighbors, peace of mind when they see IPS out there every day. The bad guys are out there in big numbers, and you know this. Property crime is on the rise. Officer shortage continues to be an issue throughout our state. Call IPS and see what they can do for you. This is affordable private security. Highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols who will keep an eye on your place. You've worked hard to build your business. You've worked hard to build your home. Protect it. Don't let a bad guy come in there and destroy all that. If your alarm goes off, they respond within 5 to 7 minutes with trained armed security personnel. I've trusted IPS for years. I think you can as well. Give them a call and see what they can do for you. The number's 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420, or you can visit them online, ipsglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers, they maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
The sports animal.
Don't forget Lobo women's basketball today. Matinee in San Diego. JJ is in America's finest city. Just put on his uniform. See me, just changing the game gear. The red Lobo polo. Guns are out, though. Sun's out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out.
11:30 pregame. Noon tip. Lobo women in San Diego play the Aztecs. Aggie men tonight on the road looking for their first WAC victory. They'll be in southern Utah. It's an ESPN Plus game. And then tomorrow night, Lobo men's basketball back at it. They'll be at home in the pit. 9 o'clock tip. 9 o'clock tip against Boise State. Lobo Hobo came in and said, JJ couldn't agree. He could not disagree more. So I asked Lobo fan, as much as you hate San Diego State, who were you rooting for last night? Was watching the San Diego State Colorado State game, goes into overtime. And the analyst on Fox Sports 1 said the whole Mountain West is rooting for Colorado State. And I said, is that right? Do you want San Diego State to keep winning, which makes your win more impressive? They're 31st, I think, in the net rankings. You beat them on the road. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports was in telling you how you got to avoid losses to 10-10 teams like Colorado State. I think most people want the good teams to keep winning, so when you get your shot at them, it's better for you. Lobo Hobo says, I couldn't disagree more, Jeff. I've talked with a lot of Lobo fans that were, we beat St. Mary's and the Aztecs lost to them. I think most Lobo fans wanted Colorado State to win last night. Okay, I think that's the natural instinct, right?
Yeah, but I guess there's also the fine line to that conversation. Well, if San Diego State's losing all these teams, how good of a win really was that for you then? Right? Like, it's just... It's one where you're looking at the numbers, that win might have helped Colorado State a little bit and not necessarily hurt San Diego State as bad with their strength of schedule and overall metrics. So it could even out and make Colorado State a little bit better, get them closer to the top 100 net ranking team because they're 113 this morning. The Aztecs aren't going to go from 30 to 60, maybe like the Lobos would, just with what their schedule is like leading up to Fresno State, UNLV. So you can see it from that side, but you still want that top 6 to be as strong as possible, because if you're New Mexico, to build that resume down the stretch.
Got it. Text line says 96 teams. I think too much watered down, would be watering down the tournament too much. That's what the text line says. Yeah, I agree. JJ going to Cancun next Thanksgiving with Lobo women's basketball. Todd says Cancun with Tilly. Jeff, want to bet this road trip draws more interest in the Buck household than the January trip to Laramie and Fort Collins?
Oh,
really?
100%.
Shocker.
You mean she doesn't want to go on those trips to Laramie and Fort Collins with you? But she might want to go to...
She didn't even know where I was this trip.
That's probably right.
She's like, oh, I thought you were like in Iowa. I was like, Iowa? Why do I be in
Why would I be in Iowa?
Big Ben.
Did she really say that to you?
That's really funny, actually.
I thought you were in Iowa. Sarah says, big game today for the ladies. Jeff, win, and it takes a little pressure off. Lose, and the Lady Lobos have zero margin of error, getting that final bye in the number 5 seed in the conference tournament. I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, this is one for New Mexico. They haven't proven that they can compete with the best teams in the Mountain West yet. The schedule is tough. They had 4 of their first 6 on the road against the top 4 teams in the conference, and right now the Lobos aren't one of those top 4 teams. I think they're settling in there at 5, which makes a ton of sense with the way you've seen them play against Air Force and Nevada, and then looking at how the rest of the league is playing out. And this is just a game for this team to prove it, because they've had some really bad moments on the road in Mountain West play. And you're no longer talking about, oh, it was a tough schedule. You played Arizona, you played Mississippi State. That has not helped you at all to this point in time. There's no more lessons to be learned. You either can do it or you can't. So
you've been doing this 3 years now. And so you've been on the road with him, and I know you're not in the locker rooms and the huddles and all that stuff, but what do you see? Because this was a veteran team. The Duff sisters come back. You get, I mean, your best player comes back for another year. Why are they struggling so bad on the road? I mean, the road is tough. Every coach tells you it's hard to win on the road. Everybody understands that. But to your point, and you just said, there's just been some bad performances, some bad moments on the road where it just looks like, I mean, and you're closer than I, certainly. You're right there courtside on Albertsons Radio Row every game. Can you, the question feels so stupid coming out. Why? But, I mean, why? What do you see that's, is it effort? Is it complacency? Is it we don't want to be here kind of stuff? Or is it they just get beat and they're not that good? I don't know what the answer is.
I think part of that is, as you watch this team coming into this year and see them play out, the ceiling is not as high as last year's team. Losing Jaden De La Cerda and Antonio Anderson took this team from being what people thought they were going to be this year to competing for 5. That's legit. Like, De La Cerda and Anderson were the best players on this team last year. And Jaden De La Cerda took so much pressure off the Duff sisters. She took the biggest shots.
Because
she
united
could shoot, the offense. And so things tighten up a little bit. And now you only have, 2 good shooters. Paula Reyes is kind of hot and cold in the front court, being your power forward. And so they really haven't been able to step up the level of play that you're expecting from the backcourt, because Tora Duff has not been shooting at a high percentage this season. You're starting point guard when she has to be, because she's on the floor. Her and her sister should be the best shooters. You look at someone like Amaya Brown coming in. This is really her first full season of starting day in and day out. And yeah, she's a redshirt senior, battling multiple knee injuries. She's not an offensive threat, so she's there defense and rebounding. So it changes the dynamic of your offense. Your ceiling's a little bit lower, but I still think that even with that said, they have played below expectations on the road, especially against the top of the Mountain West, and that's why today is such a tough game. Like, San Diego State is good. They got a TCU and Notre Dame transfer that came in. They're starting right away. They're performing. They're a veteran team, and I think New Mexico just wants to prove that they can compete on the road at this point in time.
They need to. All right. We've been talking a lot about the talk of expanding the NCAA men's basketball tournament to 96. I know you want to talk about that. Conrad, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. I just I know there's a million people smarter than me, but as far as expansion goes, I kind of like where you were going with NIT. But, they always talk about the 65th best team, the ones that got cheated that didn't get into the tournament for whatever reason. What if they made that NIT tournament a little quicker, ended a little quicker, and let them play in the play-in games? And, that way that would not necessarily kill that argument, but...
How would you do that? Because you go, you're going next week, you're going into the postseason tournaments. Would you have the NCAA tournament, just all those teams shut down for 2.5 weeks?
No. I don't know how long the NIT lasts.
Just about as long as the NCAA.
I'm speaking of ignorance here, but it seems to me that there's every year that's an argument.
Right.
Prove that you're the 65th best team, or it'd be interesting to know the percentages of those teams that they feel they got screwed that actually ended up winning the NIT tournament.
It's small. That's interesting. Conrad, thanks for the call. Appreciate the thought. JJ, what he's saying is play the NIT, get it done, and then let those teams from the NIT get in. The NIT goes as long as the NCAA. They play, I think, the Wednesday before
that's an impossible situation with a full NIT field.
Yeah. No, I don't think it just logistically, I don't think it could happen. Bill said on expanding the tournament, Jeff, to me, more teams getting into the NCAA is like the high school football finals moving to University Stadium. You're trying to fix something that's not broken. I'd rather see them cut down the number of teams in Division I from 361 closer to the 130 you see in FBS. And that's not going to happen either. So you would take out all those non-football playing schools. So the Gonzagas, the Xaviers, the Villanovas, all these powers that are really good. Wichita State, I don't believe that's going to happen. Bourne says expanding the playoffs, the only way I'd support this, Jeffy, is if they get rid of the conference tournaments. Otherwise, we don't need to see 15 and 15, 11th place team from the ACC get in. It's just as bad as 6 and 6 bowl teams. Okay. 6 and 6 bowl game, that Detroit game, New Mexico State bowling game was a pretty good game, wasn't it? Drew 2.3 million people or something. It was pretty good. People watched. All right. You guys are coming up with ideas, and I know you feel a certain way. Continue to take your calls. You going to the arena? Is that the deal?
Off to the arena.
All
Good luck, JJ.
Have a great call. JJ will be on from Viejas. 11:30 pregame and noon tip-off from America's Finest City. Have a great call.
And I got to tell you about 377 Brewery. Been telling you daily. And the Lobos, the men's Lobo team, have a big game tomorrow, Friday, January 20th at 9 p.m. I know it's late. It's 9 p.m. Well, I got the perfect place and event for you to come before the Lobos take on Boise State at the Pit. It's right around the corner from the Pit on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. That is 377 Brewery. Before every men's Lobo home game, we've had pregame events with food specials, drink specials, prize giveaways, and the prizes are awesome. The food is amazing. The drinks are good, but prizes include future tickets to future Lobo games, gift cards to 377, shirts, hats, coffee mugs, Yeti mugs, you name it. We've given it away, and it's awesome. It's been a lot of fun having you Lobo fans out there. A lot of people have been to 377 Brewery, and they weren't even aware that there's a giant event space in the back of the brewery. So let's fill it up tomorrow. January 20th again, Friday, northwest corner of Yale and Gibson. Come out from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That gives you enough time because you know you want to go early and get to the pit so you can get your seats. So come out tomorrow or check them out at 377brewery.com.
Telling it like it is.
This is the Giants.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
and act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small
The sports animal.
So the talk's been out there for a little bit about should the NCAA tournament expand. And it got a little hotter this week. We haven't had the conversation here. I think, Amory, you and I are kind of on the same page. I mean, it works.
Oh, yeah.
Why are we blowing this up? Is more necessarily better? And I know there's a thought out there, and it's interesting to hear what people are saying about this.
Yeah, don't break. What's the saying?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's what I was. Sorry, I was gonna say it backwards.
Yeah.
And
don't fix it if it ain't broke. That's fair.
And the last caller made a really good point. Like we were always like, oh, that's 65.
Yeah,
team
the
that
last
didn't
team out
get
always
in. It's
is
like,
gonna
okay,
complain.
guys, of course. Like, but that's the way it is.
Yeah,
You
'cause
win and you get in.
We're gonna be who's on the bubble, and number 97 got screwed, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Ray, what do you think?
I think it should stay just the way it is. The only thing I don't like about it is, like you were saying with the Lobos strength of schedule, you get those teams like a Seton Hall and stuff, that conference, usually they get 8, 9 teams in, and they have a high strength of schedule because they play each other twice. And their strength of schedule don't go down, whether they win or whether they lose. And you're going to get teams in that's for the same conference, 8 teams, 15 and 13, and they win one game in their own tournament, but they're getting in. I would like the NCAA to limit it to maybe 5, 6 teams each conference because, like you say, they don't lose strength of schedule when they're playing against the teams like UConn and stuff like that in their own conference. They can't because they're all up in the top 50.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I don't like about that.
There's a couple things there, right?
As far as the Lobos,
Yeah.
I think the one thing I don't like about the Lobos schedule is why did the Lobos have to go play at Utah State, but Utah State don't have to play here in the pit? I think the Mountain West has to take care of something like that.
Well, there's nothing they can do about it because, thanks, Ray. I appreciate it. So in the Mountain West, because of the number of teams you have 11 teams and you're playing, they didn't want to go to play 20 league games.
Okay.
The coaches and the ADs voted
I
against
didn't know
it. So to play everybody home and home, you would have to go to 20 league games. And what that meant would be to take away 2 opportunities in the non-conference. So the league has opted to not do that, which means you play an unbalanced schedule. One team does not come to you, and you do not go to one place, right? So they're playing Utah State, and I don't even know who the other team is that they're only playing once this year. But it happened where Nevada the first year with Alford didn't come here, and whatever. It's there's nothing they're going to be able to do about that as currently constructed unless they opt to go to 20 league games, and they've decided to not do that because of exactly what Ray was saying, is the opportunities to play non-conference games.
So this is very important to capitalize and win at home. I think
take
advantage and win at home. I know it's unbalanced. I know, man, that's tough.
Well, and it's the luck of the draw, right?
Right. Because what if next year it happens?
Well, but it's
opposite?
happened. Look, there was years where the Lobos, they're trying to build their record and they didn't play the teams that weren't very good, and there's no perfect piece to that. On his other part of that, as far as the multi-bid leagues. And he referenced the Big East, right? Seton Hall.
Right.
And
I mean, we can go to any sport and do this.
Well, okay. And the Big East in college basketball is a Power 6. It's the 5 Power 5s and then the Big East, right? That's Seton Hall, Connecticut, Georgetown, Providence, Villanova. The Big East is a power basketball conference.
The people who don't even watch college basketball on a consistent basis, and that what'd you say, the secretary that wins in the March Madness, they know those teams.
Right. Okay, so the Mountain West, and this is a progression. I believe, and if San Diego State leaves, it's going to take a hit, is working towards, while maybe not that, the Atlantic 10 has been there. You heard Jerry Palm reference that earlier if you were with us when he was with us, that they're probably one bid league. The Mountain West has worked its way towards being a multi-bid league. Now, multi meaning 2, 3, 4 bid league. Right now, Jerry's got 4 Mountain West teams in, only 3 Pac-12 teams in the tournament. The West Coast Conference has worked its way to being a 2 to 3 bid league every year, right? Gonzaga, St. Mary's last year, San Francisco got in. It takes time. Now, if San Diego State leaves the league and goes Pac-12, Big 12, wherever they think they're going, it's going to hurt, and it's going to be up to the rest of the league to keep this level up. But when you've got all these teams ranked where they are, beating teams in the non-conference, playing the non-conference schedule, to Ray's point, they have played themselves. The Mountain West, I believe, is the best non-Power 6 league in America.
Absolutely.
I don't think we've got a conversation here, do we?
No.
They're better this year than the A-10. They're better than the American, although the American is the number 1 team in the country in Houston. But this year, they're better than the American. They just are. Now, they got to win some damn games in the tournament, right? They got 4 teams in and they all lost their first game last year. The Mountain West has got to start winning something. That's the next step. But to his point on the multi-bid leagues, this is where the scheduling comes in, and you just don't know. The email we got about why did they play their multi-team event, this year, and it was Jacksonville State and South Alabama, whatever it was, and Northern Colorado, right? You don't, even less now, year to year, do you have any idea what your team's going to look like next year? Like, think a year ago now. Think 10 months ago, right after the season ended last year. Did you think this was going to be a 17-2 team right now? You had Mashburn and House coming back. House was at the point flirting with the NBA. You had no bigs. So you were trusting on this coaching staff to go out and get bigs. So you went out and got Udeze and Alec, and all of a sudden you're 7-2, and House comes back, and you're the 31st net team in the country, and you're really good, right? But you didn't know that 10 months ago, let alone when you're putting schedules together. So, and then you're going to tell me, well, Jeff, in COVID, we proved that we could put schedules together 3 days in advance. Well, that's when everybody had openings. It was a different world. Everybody's scrambling to find a game then. So we're back. It's so inexact. So Ray's point, I know I'm talking in circles in a bit here.
This is good.
But Ray's point on the multi-bid leagues, he's right. And so the power leagues, like the Big Ten's got I think they got 10 teams in most of these brackets right now.
Absolutely.
The Big 12's got, I think, 7 or 8, right? And the SEC's got like 7 or 8. Okay, so that's a third of the field or a quarter of the field. The Mountain West has positioned itself now 2 years in a row. And if they continue, I believe, the way they recruit, the coaching, and look, you better have a plan. It's going to be incumbent. I think we all think San Diego State's leaving, right, to stay strong. Nevada, New Mexico, UNLV, Colorado State, Boise State, you've got to be consistently good. You'll continue to be a multi-bid league, okay? But I mean that's where it's scheduling, and you put yourself in a position. And as far as that unbalanced schedule, Ray, you're right. They only go to Utah State once, and there's no return on Utah State, and that would have been a nice, because Utah State's a top 40 net ranked team too. So it would have been really nice to
Keep
have
trusting the process. I know it's exciting and also fearful for Lobo fan. You're like, all right, our team's is good. This is where we should be. We should be in the tournament, but
who's the other? I'm
trust.
Not, who do you not get?
Process.
You don't get Utah State at home, and I don't think they go to. Do they go to Vegas? Yeah, I don't think they go to play UNLV. So I mean, they get UNLV at home, but they don't get a return game at the Thomas and Mack. So they
try to balance it out in a different way.
It changes every year. There's one team you don't go to, and one team that doesn't come to you.
Okay, so I think that's still fair.
Well, it's as fair as it's going to get, and it's supposedly computer generated, and it changes every year. It's rotating, right? It's as fair as you're going to get, unless you decide you want to go to 20 and play everybody twice. You got 11 teams in your league. That's 10 other teams. The coaches have decided those 2 games are way more important to be able to go schedule non-conference and better your strength of schedule. And that's where they are. So that's why you're in that situation. Hope that makes sense. 505-246-0610. I think it makes sense, right?
No, it does. I didn't know that we didn't go one place.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's how that is. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. ClarksPets.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers, they maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the Pet Supply Superstore. Clark.
Is your show on this Saturday, by the way?
Yeah, new time, 7 to 9.
All right, tell us, 7 to 9.
Gambling focus.
Saturday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Yeah, we moved the times
All
because,
right.
you know, basic bettors got to get her bets in early.
Well, Tella said Saturday, early a.m. I tuned in to hear your boy. That would be you. And instead, without warning, oh, no, wait, listen to something else. Instead was part-time show. Is this a permanent change? So part-time bro.
Yeah, so the reason why my schedule changes so much with Saturdays is because football was always the priority. And so now that football's slowly going off, for now it will always be 7 to 9.
Tell us, if you don't know, football teams to rule the world.
If
Just
you,
saying.
just bowl games in December. Like unfortunately I'm not as important as like a bowl game or an NFL game. So we're back, baby.
None of us are. Mud says it doesn't matter who else wins or loses as long as the Lobos do their job. Win, win, win. No one else cheers for the Lobos, not even you. Directed at me. Okay.
Wait. What?
Yep. Then it says Nevada, question mark. Yep, play Nevada twice. Yes, you do. You play Nevada there next week, and in about a week after that, a week and a half, you play them here.
Jeff, a lot of Lobo fans, I don't know, maybe I didn't know, but I didn't know that there was 2 games that you didn't.
There's 2 teams you do not play
I think
twice.
it's a fun fact for everyone to learn.
Yeah, and the conference scheduling, it all evolves with conference realignment, and this is something that when the coaches get together in Scottsdale in May and they have their meetings, I think this is something that, I don't know if it's up for conversation every year, but I know it's been up for conversation, and the coaches make the recommend. I believe the process is the coaches make their recommendations. The ADs pretty much go with what their basketball coaches want there. And that's how they go about the scheduling. Now, if the coaches got together and said, hey, our league is getting strong enough where we want to play, you're having problems scheduling, we're having problems scheduling, we want to play. Like, I know San Diego State led the charge on not playing everybody twice. They didn't want to go to 20 games, right? Because they got games this year against Arkansas and Ohio State and Arizona. They got invited to the Maui Invitational. They played at St. Mary's. They had BYU come to their place. Like they've got to the point where now they can go out, and it behooves them to go out and schedule non-conference games because it helps them. It's the Gonzaga thing. Gonzaga doesn't want to play more conference games in the West Coast Conference because they go out and their strength of schedule has made them, and winning those games has made them and their brand who they are. If the coaches got together at some point and said, you know what, let's go to 20 games. Let's play everybody twice, and they voted on it, then you could see a change. But that's how it is now. So this year the Lobos do not get Utah State at home. They do go to Logan, and they do not go to UNLV, and you're well aware that they played UNLV in the pit a week and a half ago. All right, so and it's like football. You don't play everybody in football.
No, you don't. It rotates every year.
Well, and now it's going to rotate more because they're getting rid of divisions.
Yep.
So you played it. It used to be you played everybody in your division, and then half of the other division this year at home, half of the other division next year on the road, and then they flipped it, and you played the other 3 teams in the other division, and if that even makes sense. But now it's gonna. I don't even know how it's gonna go now. It's all 12 teams are in the hat, and there is no. I believe there were like 2 or 3 protected rivalries that you were allowed to keep. Like so for instance, Colorado State and Wyoming have to play every year, right? I mean, they play for the boot, and they got to play that game, right? UNLV and Nevada play for the can, and they got to play that game every year.
It's awesome.
San Diego State, Fresno State play for the old oil can, I think, and so there's some of those games that are protected, and then everything will rotate around. But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. That's why with all these. I got some NFL breaking news for you here in a minute. With all the expansion and conferences going to 16 and maybe bigger, how are they going to schedule football?
I don't know, and I know this is your business, but I'm very anxious to see what happens,
especially
and how much
rid of divisions,
and how
right?
much bowl and playoffs change.
Yeah. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have fired offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. So it's all his
Another
fault.
coach that saved his
So
job.
Todd Bowles is going to hold on. It was the first major personnel move made by Todd Bowles. He became the head coach back at the end of March last year. So Byron Leftwich has been the offensive coordinator for 4 years there. And the Tampa Bay Times is reporting this morning that he has been fired.
Woo! Just like Brandon Staley and Todd Bowles, like them as coordinators, do not like them as head coaches. And this isn't just based off this year.
So the Todd Bowles thing is really interesting. I didn't think it was him when he was with the Jets. I just thought the Jets were bad. I didn't think there was anything around him. I didn't know what he had to work with. When Bruce Arians was pushed aside or stepped aside or no longer was the head coach of Tampa Bay, I thought, you know what, that's a good move. I thought Todd Bowles was the right move. Why did they go to 8-9 this year and got run out of a playoff game with Tom Brady at quarterback? Why could they not run the football? Why did that defense go from being so good. And you're going to tell me injuries, and I'll say, yeah, you're right, but everybody in the world had injuries. Even San Francisco. It's football. I'm a little surprised Todd Bowles keeps his job.
Me too.
And I don't advocate for people who lose their jobs. I don't like when people lose their jobs. I know some people, he's got to get fired. Fire that guy. Fire. Okay. I'm not a big advocate for that. But in the world that they live in the NFL, and watching guys go down on a regular basis, I am surprised that both Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay and Brandon Staley with the Chargers kept their jobs.
Same.
And if you're going to ask me which one I'm more surprised of, it'll be Brandon Staley.
Me too.
That is a win-now roster with a win-now young quarterback on a rookie deal. They should be able to run the football with Austin Eckler. I'll tell you what might have put me over the top if I was the owner. And I understand you got to have a game. Well, the second to last game. So you got to have
when he put in
Mike Williams.
Yep.
And got him hurt, and I don't have Mike Williams available. And I lose by 1 point. And then I blow a 27-0 lead. Like I blow a 27-0 lead. And honestly, did I do anything great to get the 27-0 lead? Trevor Lawrence kind of gave me that by handing the ball out like candy, and my defense was really good. And I'm sorry, man. Like, all the power to Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence for coming back from being 27 down and not quitting and all of those things. And there's no playoff experience and first playoff game. And I love the story. I love it from a Jacksonville angle. And it's wonderful, and you can play me all the Disney music you want. But that team to blow a 27-0 lead.
That was the worst.
It was kind of
that was the biggest loss out of all these good teams in the playoffs.
No doubt. Thanks to Jerry Palm, CBS Sports. He was with us today. Jim Rome Show is next, and JJ's going to crack the microphone from San Diego at 11:30. Lobo women against San Diego State. 2 Men On comes your way at 4 o'clock, and then we're back on tomorrow's Friday, huh?
Tomorrow's Friday.
We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with award-winning radio for you then. Adrian, the show looks great on the visual medium. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. It looks really, really good. Hey, Marie, great job today.
Thank you.
Have fun with BV.
Thank you.
Do people know you're on with BV?
Yeah, BV today, 1 to 3.
She's over on the big stick. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will see you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.